Today we're talking about a book that I've read recently that has really, really inspired me, and it is called Coasting. I'm trying to find who it's by, but then I keep looking at these chapters of another book I'm reading. Elise Downing. I love her. Absolutely love her. Not in terms of like sexually or anything like that. I just love the person she is. She's so honest. She's stupidly candid and honest, and it's so refreshing. It basically, what she's done is she didn't know what to do with her life. She hated a job. She was in a toxic relationship with this horrible guy. And so she decided, I think she was only like in the 20s, early 20s, 24 maybe. She decided to run around the coast of Britain. She's not a runner, but she decided to run around the coast of Britain, and she thought it'd take her 10 months. How hard can it be? And she started off in November, and she went up from southwest all the way around to, then the west, and then the north, and then the northeast, and all the way back down. And she basically documented the process. She did it a few years ago, and it was so honest. I loved it. It was so inspiring because it shows you what adventures there is out there and what you're capable of, and you don't even know it. You don't have no idea what you are capable of. And we just live in our humble little existence, never really challenging ourselves, never really putting ourselves out there. But if we do, and if you have that mindset and inkling that you want to just go for an adventure, then it is brilliant. She said that she started out with a tent and then realized she didn't want to camp out in the winter. Excuse me. And then all along the way, people was so kind and offering them a home to live in and stuff, and free B&Bs and stuff like that. And she was talking about money. She was talking about how she did it. And she was talking about that all of a sudden a bank stopped. She couldn't get any money from a bank because all of a sudden the bank cut her off. And she was like, why? I've got money now. I've got $2,000 in there. And it was because she had some debt from when she was a student, and she had a credit card debt that she never paid off. She just left it, and she had that. I used to get letters all the time, but she ignored them. I ignored them. And 5 years later, they finally caught up with her, and they blocked her account. And so she had to pay the bill off. It was only £1,800, only 1,800 quid, but 1,800 quid is a lot of money if you don't have it. And they came to a deal where she paid half of it, and that was it. And she said, it's probably stopped me getting a mortgage forever now, but at least, she was just so honest, talking about a bloke. She was saying that 1 minute he was sending pictures of himself and saying what he wants to do to her. And I was like, oh my God, where did this come from? This got serious quickly. And then and then they broke up. And the next minute she was saying that I got drunk and I started kissing this guy. And it was incredible. I absolutely loved it. She is a legend. And it sparked something in me that I didn't know was there, where now I'm going for a lot longer runs. I'm going for 10K runs, 8K runs. And by the way, that is a lot for me when I was only doing like 4Ks before. But this week I've done 2 8Ks. I'm going to do a 10K tomorrow. That's 3 days. Last week I did 30K in 4 days. And it's just proper inspired me. I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? And so I started looking at John O'Groats to Land's End, 1,200 miles for runners. I was like, shit, if I didn't have kids, I would 100% do it, because I couldn't be away from my children for that long, even though I was doing something that is probably going to inspire them one day. I'm a bit of a homebod. I couldn't do that. And it'd be different because I'd stay in hotels. There's no way that I wouldn't stay in a hotel every single night. I wouldn't rough it. I wouldn't want to go and sleep in a hostel. I wouldn't want to sleep in a B&B's all right. But yeah, I wouldn't want to camp. I wouldn't want to carry a big tent around with me. And so, I would, and so I would do it somewhat differently, but I just can't get away from the fact that I'm away from my family for 2 months or whatever, or 9 weeks, because I was thinking I can do 20 miles a day. I could do 20 miles a day, because I could do 10 miles in the morning, 10 miles in the afternoon, and bosh, I could stop for a lunch, take 2 or 3 hours off, and then do 10 miles again. And it doesn't matter how quickly you do it, because obviously I don't run very quickly. But as long as you carry on moving, even if it's a walk, you can walk for a couple of miles. I could definitely cover 20 miles in a day. And then, I could even probably I'm thinking I could do more, but it's still a long time. So I was even thinking I could do it and come back for weekends and then get a train back and come back to exactly what point I was at before. But it's just like, is that cheating? Is he really not doing it? I don't know. But then just coming back for weekends and I'm still away from my kids for 5 nights. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I can do that. So it's definitely lit something in me where I want to do something, and I admire people like her. It's fantastic what she's done. And I really, really enjoyed it. It's very, very motivational. And it just proves that you can do anything. She's not a runner. And she was running, she went and run 40 miles in one day. It was incredible. And then when she came back, she went in a post-run, not depression, but she was a bit down and didn't run for a year. And now all that's changed, and now she's running every single weekend and stuff. And yeah, it's incredible. So I recommend that book to anybody. I think it's a thoroughly enjoyable book, easy listening to, and it flies by. All right, my friends, that's it. I'm out of here.